Greetings everyone and welcome to my channel. It's been a while since I've done one of these and I think it's about time I finally brought one back for you. This is episode 7 of the Captain's Table. Over the last month or so, I have been incredibly busy with my home life. Not so much work, but definitely with home. Traveling always takes a lot of energy out of me. Don't know why, always does. Always tired after flying or riding in a car or a train, doesn't matter. All I want to do when I get to my destination is take a nap, have a drink or 6, and relax. On the 12th and 13th, and then again on the 20th and 21st, I was traveling. I was transiting to my destination and back from my destination. So back-to-back transiting, incredibly tiring for me. And of course, I ended up transiting to the same destination twice because it didn't really time that well. The first time I was headed back to my hometown for a reunion, and the second time I was headed back to my hometown for the apocalypse on the 21st of August. And I can honestly say I'm glad I went. In spite of traveling and it being very tiring, the experience was something breathtaking. It was quite beautiful. And I really wish that cell phone technology, the cameras in those, had finally caught up to a point where I could accurately take video and still shots with that kind of convey how beautiful it was, what the situation was. But of course, obviously, it doesn't. It's very limited in that respect, but, you know, I did what I did as far as what I could with the camera and the technology that I had available to me. The experience overall was very beautiful, and I really encourage you, if you get an opportunity, to go and see one. I think there's another one coming through, starts in Mexico, Texas, rolls up to Maine in like 2024. It'd be about so total eclipse, absolutely beautiful, stunning. Highly encourage going to see it. But of course, the media down in Oregon had hyped up this great traffic apocalypse for the eclipse. And in the morning, because it was in the morning, that was not the case. However, in the afternoon, it absolutely was the case. To transit from my mother's house, which was in the path of totality, worked out good for me to spend the night there.
It would be really cold.
From my mother's house to Portland Airport takes normally about an hour and 20 minutes, hour and 30 minutes, depending on the traffic situation, which isn't all that bad. The flight from Portland to Seattle takes 28 to 34 minutes, depending on the type of airplane you're flying on and headwinds. So normally it would take us this long. Now, to cut a long story short, it didn't take that long. It took 5 hours to make it from her house to the airport. 5 hours in the backseat of a car.
You'll miss it.
Not on the freeway. We ended up taking back roads, back country roads, but we were not the only people to do that. I understand that the freeway was basically the LA freeway. It was a giant parking lot. And the back roads were about the same because they were all 2-lane roads with stop signs and people trying to zipper in to the other roads.
Like
it was a traffic apocalypse, to put it bluntly. And in the Willamette Valley in Oregon on the back roads, there is legitimately nothing to see. It is about the most boring thing in August that you can imagine. Not even the fields are green. Most of them are dirt at this point. Managed to roll up to the airport.
Hey, did the
departures level, rolled up, stopped the car at 6 p.m. Our flight boarded at 6:15 p.m. We hadn't even gone through security yet. Smaller regional aircraft, boarding really only takes about 15 minutes from start to finish. So we managed to rush, get through airport security. Fortunately for us, there was nobody in security's line, and we were TSA pre anyway, so that just made things, 3-4 minutes faster. Got through, got to the gate 5 minutes before boarding, and then realized that our aircraft wasn't even there. Even though it's a small aircraft, it's still going to take 20 minutes to deplane, unload baggage, load baggage, clean the aircraft, and then start the boarding process. So we had time to go get a beer. My dad and I went off, bar right next to the gate, which was fortunate. Got ourselves a beer, drank it in a hurry because we saw all the passengers getting off the aircraft that had just arrived. It was about 30 minutes late at this point. Got back to the gate just in time to hear the announcement that due to a computer issue, they couldn't board or take off. They didn't elaborate on the issue, which turned out later to be a system-wide, an airline-wide computer outage. And we ended up waiting in the airport for hours. And because so many people were trying to leave Oregon after this, every single flight back to Seattle was booked solid. So we couldn't even try to, do a quick emergency booking on our preferred airline of Alaska through Horizon. We couldn't do that. There was no tickets, no seats available. So we were stuck there. And we ended up not getting wheels up until about 3.5 hours after our original departure time, which meant that we got home very, very late. Well, I got home incredibly late. My dad got home even later. And I was absolutely exhausted from the trip. Then, following that, had a little bit of family drama associated as an estranged uncle of mine who lives not too many miles from me has been sending cryptic and distressing messages to his estranged wife, who's effectively blocked him, and my grandmother and my mother. So, since my dad and I are up here, we were tasked with basically gathering him and his belongings together and transporting him back to my hometown, which my dad unfortunately was voluntold to do. So we've been dealing with that, and probably not a moment too soon. Apparently, my uncle has had some serious alcohol addiction issues and is detoxing violently from not having any money to buy booze with. And by violently, I mean he's got the DTs. He's having seizures and everything. It's not pretty. So we've been having to deal with that. And in the midst of all that, with the traveling and the end of the month, you can understand that I don't want to go in and have to be cognitive and constantly be thinking about what I'm doing, who's where, what ships are where, what ships got what. I just want to show up, sit down, start up a really simple tycoon game that I don't have to pay attention to. That I can just sit back, relax, watch YouTube videos, and just do nothing. And that's basically what I have been doing. So for those of you who have been waiting for World of Warships, my normal heavy World of Warships content load, it's coming back. I promise. I just needed that little vacation, that break to collect myself. To rewind, refresh, unwind, switch on, turn off, plug in, I don't know. All those things. But, of course, you'll probably be happy to know that, yes, I am going to get back into World of Warships, and I'm probably going to do a British battleship line video. I actually have the free XP. I could free XP my way to the Conqueror, and I really do want the Conqueror because I want a battleship with the name Conqueror, so I can conquer people. Especially with the heal, will probably serve my playstyle really, really well. So I will be playing those and kind of just in general not caring about my stats now that I've had an opportunity to reset myself on World of Warships in that respect. Other kind of really decent news for the channel If you have watched any of my Lego builds, speed builds, the condensed videos, then good news for you, as I will be getting a new Lego kit in October. Recently announced by Lego and pictures already released, price point set. It is very expensive, but I am looking forward to it. It's Lego UCS Star Wars kit, the new Millennium Falcon. And it's minifigure scale. And it's 7,500 pieces. I don't even think the model will fit on my desk. I might actually have to set up a camera and just film on my floor when I get that. And it'll probably be a multi-part video, like, mini-series, because it's going to be massive. Now, I have designed and built models that size before. But they've been digital. Never actually have they been a physical model that big. So I'm actually really looking forward to that model. Again, it's kind of expensive. I think it's going to be $800. But Lego UCS kits, especially the Star Wars ones, are usually very well put together, and they tend to appreciate in value even for the used kits, provided you still have the box, the instruction manual in pristine condition. Even if the kit's been open, you can just put that sucker back together, put it in all the parts in plastic baggies, and resell it for, well, depending on how long it's been out of production, for as much or more than what you paid for it. An example would be the previous UCS Millennium Falcon, originally sold for $600, ran its production, I think, for a year or two, went out of production. It was a limited run sale. Retail stores didn't pick it up and sell it because it was so expensive and so large. And so not as many people bought it. And now, new in the box, they're going for like $6,000 on eBay. Even used. The used kits, the pre-assembled ones, they're going for $2,000-3,000 on eBay. And that model went out of production something like 12 years ago. So a 12-year appreciation of, 1,000% for a still brand new in the box. And I kind of see that happening with the new kit, being that it is so large, comes with several minifigures, that it's basically not going to be picked up by retailers like Walmart or Target. You'll probably be able to buy them online from those retailers, but not go into the store and pick it up, because that box is going to be huge. I think the picture of the box is absolutely massive. It's a cube. It's not a standard box. It's a cube. You get a cube that this kit comes in because it's so big. So you can look forward to seeing that video at some point in the future after October. Additionally, I've still got a little bit of vacation time left, and I am planning a trip to another famous ship museum. The last one I did, of course, was the USS Midway. And that was a very fun trip. It was great to see the aircraft carrier. We got in on a day that not as many people were there, so we were able to very easily tour around, see the ship's interior, take pictures without being impeded by people or having people in the way, and without impeding people. This time, planning on going probably early December, right after Thanksgiving, when most people have already flown back. They're back to work. Nobody's traveling until Christmas, for the most part. So it shouldn't be too bad. Now, there's a couple of ships that I can choose from. Because it's December, going to either the southwest area, because it'll be, a moderate and comfortable temperature, or the tropics. Hawaii would be the only other option. Haven't decided yet where I'll be going. My dad is coming with me. I mean, he's planning the trip as far as all that's concerned. It's really just down to what ships I want to see. Now, obviously, there's the USS Texas. I think there's an aircraft carrier down near there as well. Downside to that right now, USS Texas, is obviously not open because it's docked near Houston. Very impacted by flooding, and I kind of expect that will probably be down for some time for repairs. Now, obviously, that's months and months, assuming that area doesn't get hit by another hurricane or massive flooding or other terrible natural disasters or man-made disasters, that it will probably be back open. But there's a tour specifically with the USS Texas that I'd like to see and I'd like to take pictures of for all of you people, which is the Hard Hat Tours. Takes you to sections of the ship that are otherwise off limits to the normal visitors. And those sections, I think, would be really, really cool to get pictures of for that. The other option, obviously, is the Alabama, which is down in Mobile. My big problem with the Alabama is that, well, it's a beautiful ship. It's a South Dakota class ship. There's one other South Dakota class ship that is still available, and it has a bunch of other museum ships near it, a lot closer to it, so that I could kind of hit that, and then I could hit another one, and then I could hit another one, you know, all in rapid succession. As well as the fact that I think it's up near Boston, and to be honest, I haven't ever been to Boston, and there's a lot of stuff to do and see in Boston as far as tours go, and historical relevances to various things. Not so much in Alabama. I don't know what there is to do in Alabama. If you're down in that section of the country, you know, maybe let me know. Convince me. Convince me that there's something to do in Alabama for another day, because I really don't want to waste 5 days of vacation to fly down to Georgia, drive to Alabama, spend a day on the ship, drive back to Georgia, and then fly back. I don't want to do that. That's not very entertaining for me. And then, of course, the other option is Pearl Harbor, to go and see the USS Missouri and to go and see the Arizona Memorial. It's been a long time since I've been to Hawaii, and I'm kind of heavily leaning there, but we'll see what my dad wants to do in that respect, because obviously tickets to Hawaii are not the cheapest at any time of the year. And I do believe he was in Hawaii, I think, last year. So, in fact, he was at the Missouri recently last year. So it's not really been a long time for him, but it has been a very long time for me. So we will see. Now, finally, to end this, the last bit of explanation that I want to give you for this situation with my YouTube channel right now is that in the month of August, YouTube released its new auto-bot monetized, demonetized system for its new advertiser-friendly platform. And that has actually taken all of my content, my World of Warships content, and it has gone and it has flagged it as not safe or not advertiser-friendly, which has removed a lot of ads from it. And now, I know a good number of you use AdBlock. I don't fault you. I use an AdBlock myself. Those of you who don't, I appreciate it. But because of this, the revenue that I would receive from those videos has been cut significantly. Now, fortunately, I don't live off this. I didn't quit my day job. But to see that drop in revenue is very kind of disheartening and discouraging. Additionally, to see the drop in views, the amount of views each video has been getting has been progressively less and less, and I'm not entirely sure why that is. I don't know how come YouTube's algorithms are tweaking the way they are. And so that's also been kind of a contributing factor to me being a little more unmotivated and needing to de-stress and unwind over the whole situation. Over this whole month, basically, is partly regarding to YouTube's changes. Now, it looks like that they've fixed it. Video game content, especially wargaming kind of content, isn't being flagged anymore, so it is getting the ads on it, which is nice, but, I mean, there was still that dip. So I am in the process of looking for an alternative. And I think I've got one, but, you know, we'll hold off on switching over content for now, since most of you are obviously still on the YouTube platform, which is fine by me. But I will be posting content to a different video platform, If you'd like to know what platform that is, you're welcome to support me on Patreon for now, because it's mostly just going to be for Patreon supporters, or you can follow me on Facebook, where I'll be posting the links there as well. Anyway, that's it for today's video. I want to ask you if you liked it, because I kind of rambled. It was an explanation full of excuses for, the channel situation. So it is what it is. Anyway, I hope you all have a wonderful Labor Day weekend. I'm certainly going to try and enjoy my 3-day weekend. And as always, I'll see you next time. This is Captain Rye, signing off.